going to jump into it right now. So, basically, what I want to start with is just how you can kind of get introduced into this kind of crazy world of skincare. When you first look into things like skincare, it can be a little bit overwhelming at times. There's a lot of products that can be very, very expensive. So, I have a couple of tried and true staples that are really low cost. And some things that do I need to have something like this? What's an oil cleanse? What's a foaming face wash, should I be using St. Ives apricot scrub, different things like that. Hint, you probably shouldn't use too many apricot scrubs. They can be a little bit abrasive on your face. But what I always recommend if you're interested in getting into skincare or you just want to even start wearing more sunscreen or wearing a moisturizer is to do research. So just like with anything in life, research is going to help you feel more confident and comfortable. So I always recommend things like Skincare Addiction. It's a website that they kind of talk about the different things in products and help you to understand what works best for your skin. So we are all unique and different people. So our skin's needs and my skin needs might be different than your skin needs. So there might be a product that I really love, but as soon as you use it, you have a really bad breakout and it just doesn't work for you. But the most important thing to do when you're looking to start a skincare routine is understand the ingredients and the items that you're getting. So the cool thing, like I said, about this face mask we're going to do is it has some natural ingredients to it, which things that occur naturally. Chemicals might seem intimidating. Something like lactic acid sounds like it could be bad, but it's actually in yogurt. So we'll be using yogurt for a face mask today. But really look into ingredients and understand the ingredients. An ingredient can have a really long and scary name and end up being something as simple as water, It's just really understanding what you're getting into and understanding what those active ingredients are the ingredients that are in the highest concentration and give you the most effect. So when I do my skincare routine, I always like to start with a great cleanser. So in the morning, you don't really need to cleanse. So you can wash your face with water in the morning, but you should have done your washing the night before. So you want to cleanse at night. If you wear makeup like I do, you probably need a little bit more cleanser. So I do a double cleanse. So I use something like this. This is Pharmacy. It's a little expensive. I like it, but you can get a lot cheaper stuff that's just as good and does the same thing. And this works as something called an oil cleanser, which might seem like, oh, I'm rubbing oil on my face. That's going to cause a breakout. Some oils do and some oils don't. So if it is a comedogenic, it means that it won't cause you to have clogged pores. Things like olive oil can actually be dangerous to leave on your face because it's will clog your pores. So if you do use olive oil, you totally can as part of an oil cleanse, but you really need to wash your face with a foaming moisturizer afterwards. So I tend to use something like this, which is more like a balm to start that process of cleaning my face off. It helps get a lot of my makeup off. I wear a lot of makeup, as you guys can see. So it's a really good cleanser for that. And then I actually just recommend getting a really gentle cleanser. So I use CeraVe. It is pretty inexpensive. I think it's like $10 for a bottle this big. This will last me for months on end. So if you're just getting into skincare or you want to try out skincare and taking care of your skin, and maybe if you wear makeup, even if you don't wear makeup, something like a gentle cleanser is always something good to use at the end of the day. So I always put my hair back at the end of the day. I get everything out of my face. I have a headband that has 2 little cat ears on it, which is super cute. And then I get to work cleansing my face. And that's really the most important thing is we need a clean face to be able to do skincare on it. So I like this one because I have pretty dry skin. I especially have dry skin during the winter, so I like to use a really gentle cleanser. Sometimes cleansers that foam up have certificants in it, which they're not bad for you. And I've used foaming cleansers in the past, but sometimes they can really dry out my skin because it's the same thing as like a soap. And soap can be kind of harsh on your skin. So you just want to be careful when you're using something like that. Know your skin type. Sometimes it's testing things, figuring out what works best for you, getting sample sizes of things. Really don't spend too much money on skincare. You do not have to spend a ton of money on skincare. A lot of options are available at the drugstore and are super cheap. So I recommend doing those. So once you've kind of cleaned your skin and you really scrub it in, you want to be gentle with your skin, but because the skin on your face is really soft and is very sensitive. So be careful when you're washing your face. Circular motions work really well. The next thing you want to do is you want to apply a moisturizer. Some people will do a toner step. You don't have to do something like that. I just use like a really simple moisturizer like this one. It's Garnier. This is not a branded video. I probably shouldn't be putting brands out, but I use like a really simple moisturizer. That one has rose water in it, which is a great thing that's really good for your skin. So one thing you can do is when roses start blooming during the summertime is as long as they haven't been sprayed with any kind of bug spray, anything like that. You can wash the roses, wash the rose petals, and you can make your own rose water, which is really cool too. And you can use that as a spritz on your face, and it feels really good, especially on a hot day. So, we've cleaned our face, we've moisturized our face. You can also do another layer of oils on it. This is like a rosehip oil. Rosehip oil is really good for your skin. And, we talked about how that olive oil can actually clog your pores. Rosehip oil doesn't do that. Rosehip oil is a very light oil. You put it at the end after your moisturizer, and it kind of seals everything into your skin, and it feels really nice. So before bed, I'll do some of these steps. Some nights I'm really just wiping like a makeup removing wipe off my face and just washing real quick and moisturizing. I don't want to go too far into it. Because, some nights you feel a little bit lazier than others, but it's really nice when you kind of have that time at the end of the day to sit aside and have that like meditative, you're washing your face, you're not thinking about the day, you're, just taking care of yourself. So another thing and something that we're going to use in our face mask today, this is a lactic acid. This is a treatment you can do, a couple of like once or twice a week. It is a chemical exfoliant is what we would call it. So chemical exfoliants are actually a little bit safer to use than something like, that apricot scrub we talked about. It can be really harsh on your face and can, cause irritation. When I was in high school, I used the apricot scrub and I couldn't understand why I would have dry patches on my skin. And it was because it was too harsh for my skin. So that is a lactic acid solution that you can do as part of your skincare routine. But what we're doing today, the mask that I'm going to show you guys, yogurt has lactic acid naturally occurring in it. So it is a great exfoliant. So you can do this mask and then rinse your face off afterwards, and your skin will feel smoother because of that lactic acid. During the daytime, of course, we don't need to cleanse our faces. We really just need to kind of wash with water. We did all that cleansing last night. There are natural oils to your skin that you want your skin to have. I have dry skin, but I have an oily T-zone. So, I have a little bit of oiliness, but it's really has to do with when you're getting oily, you're not getting enough moisture in your skin. So it might seem counterintuitive to add more moisture to your skin when your skin already feels kind of greasy or feels just not super comfortable. But once you start moisturizing more frequently, it'll help you not have as oily of skin. It'll kind of balance your skin out because your skin is in need of some moisture. So that's what it's trying to tell you. So listen to your skin. During the daytime, I really just recommend, if anything you guys take from this, I always recommend wash your face before bed, just because you feel better, you have a clean face, you wake up in the morning and you feel cleaner. Apply a moisturizer. So wash your face and moisturize at the very least. And during the daytime, I would always recommend using sunscreen on your face. So this is Sunbum. It's just a nice sunscreen. This one doesn't play as nicely with makeup. So again, I wear a lot of makeup. So I don't use that one when I'm wearing makeup. I tend to use that one if I'm going to be camping or I'm going swimming. So always applying that sunscreen to your face. It's just as important to apply to your face as the rest of your body. And it helps keep your skin safe, which is important. For face sunscreens, I always recommend looking for two separate things. You want to see if it has protection against UVA and UVB. So those are two different types of UV light. Some sunscreen in the United States doesn't always prevent UVA, UVB, but a lot of Japanese skincare will actually do that. And the brand Be Yours is a Japanese brand, and they sell a very inexpensive facial sunscreen that I recommend. That is really lightweight. You can wear it under makeup if you wear makeup, but if you are just not a makeup person, you're really just, kind of out the door, you don't worry about that kind of stuff, something like this would still be okay. A little bit heavier, but it's a really good sunscreen. So moisturizing and sunscreen during the day. If there are any kind of skincare you want to do, those are the two that I really recommend doing because it's important to keep our skin safe. So There are other kinds of things you can do too. I really like, if you like a thicker moisturizer, the one I showed earlier is kind of really thin, which I like. I don't like when things feel too heavy on my face, but during the winter time, skin gets a little bit drier. So I tend to use a thicker one. So something that has like ceramidin cream in it. CeraVe is a very inexpensive drugstore brand and does just as well as some of those really expensive drugstore brands that you might be seeing in social media. If you or your girls watch YouTube, so if you see in videos, they're using things like Drunk Elephant and it's $80, you absolutely do not need to do that with skincare. Skincare should be inexpensive. It should be accessible to people. And there are some brands out there that do some really great stuff too. So like I said, we're always looking at those ingredients, which is the most important part for skincare, and is the easiest to understand. So we're going to make a face mask now. We are going to make a face mask that has oatmeal in it. It has honey in it. It has yogurt in it, and it's going to have green tea in it. So let me go grab my yogurt quick because it was in the fridge. So it is nice and cold. I kept it in the fridge because I was prepping everything else beforehand. So I have my little dish of yogurt. So the recipe that I did for this one is we're using yogurt because it has lactic acid, which feels really nice on the face. And it's really nice. The kind of milk in it is really good for, skin, and that lactic acid is really good. So that fermented process gives us that lactic acid. We're using a little bit of honey. Skincare will actually use honey, different things like that. Honey is antiviral and it's antimicrobial. So it's pretty much sterile. It's safe to use for something like this, and it softens the skin. So it's really good for that. Probably not all of the girls watching this had to experience this because there was a vaccine for chickenpox. But when I was a kid, I got pretty bad chickenpox and had to take an oatmeal bath. So this is oat flour, which is just ground up oatmeal. You don't have to grind the oatmeal if you don't want to, or if you have a blender, you can actually put the oats in the blender and just blend the whole thing up. Be sure to use unflavored oats. Different sugars and things like that you might not want to be rubbing into your skin. So I just use like a plain oat flour because it makes it really easy to use. But you can use whole oats if you want to. And then a tiny bit of green tea powder. This is matcha. In another life, I used to work at a tea store, and I fell in love with matcha there and have never stopped using it since. But matcha, the caffeine in it, and the L-theanine, the antioxidants in matcha, are really good for your skin too. So you do not have to add matcha. If you have green tea at home, I would recommend just steeping it and adding a little bit of that steeped tea. So after you've brewed it, matcha powder is nice because it is the whole tea leaf that has been ground really finely, and you can make it into a face mask. So I have my little mixing bowl. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take my yogurt and put it right in there. If you guys know what ASMR is, I hope there's not too many noises and we're not making ASMR sounds. So that's about a tablespoon of yogurt I'm using. You really don't need much more than that. I would use a teaspoon of oats. I'm going to use a teaspoon of oat flour right here. My cat is very interested right now in what I'm making, so I apologize if he pops on the screen. And then we're going to add our honey to it. The great thing about this too is it would probably make really delicious oatmeal. And then we just have our matcha powder that we're going to add in. And so there's my mix. I'm going to mix it up into a paste. The fun thing about the matcha too is it turns everything green, so it looks really cool. But yeah, so green tea has those antioxidants. It has caffeine too, which is really good for your skin. It's good for your hair too. You can actually do green tea hair rinses or apple cider vinegar hair rinses. Just be sure to dilute something like apple cider vinegar because it is an acid, so it can dry things out a little bit. We talked about the exfoliating properties of something like lactic acid, so that's what's in our yogurt right now, which is what a lot of skincare uses. So as you guys can see, I am currently wearing makeup on my face, so I can't apply this to my face, but I do have a friend who is going to come over, who has very graciously said he would be willing to have it applied to his face. This is Kyle. We shelter in place together, so
hello.
Say hello to the audience, Kyle.
Hello.
So Kyle is going to kind of show how we would apply something like this and apply it in a way that's not going to get super messy. So I'm going to get behind him.
Should I move to this chair?
Yeah, if you want to, that might be easier.
All right.
Next to you. Oh. And so if you are watching, you can do this at home with your mom and do a nice facial for your mom. So we are going to do our mask first. And a mask like this, we're going to let sit for, I would say 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, you know, put on an episode of a show that you're watching right now and do that while you put on your face masks. But what we're going to do is, Kyle, if you could tilt your head back.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone can do skincare. Kyle does skincare too. He has kitty cat earbands as well that he wears when he does his skincare. It's very cold, as you can see by his flinch. And just like that, and then you can kind of smear it out with, oh, this will be very fun to see. So smear it out just like that. So this would be a great mask if you had some cucumbers too, that you could then put over your eyes, which would feel really nice. Very cold.
Cold.
I don't know if the camera's picking up. He's flinching every single time we put this on his face. So we just kind of spread it down and around. If the person that you're doing a skincare for, a mask for, has a beard, it goes right in the beard too. There's skin underneath where that beard is. Okay, tilt your head to the side, Kyle. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You are a great sport.
So cold.
It is very cold. The yogurt I put in the fridge so that it didn't, and just like that. Kyle learned this morning he was getting a wonderful facial, so he's a good sport. Okay, Kyle. We are done. As soon as I get it through your mustache. Okay, go ahead and face the camera. And it's that easy. It's super easy. It's super fun. You know, you just let it sit for a while. Let it sit for 15, 20 minutes. There's lactic acid in there. There's that honey in there, which has those healing properties. You know, there you go.
It feels great once it's on. It's a little cold at first, but then it feels very good and moisturizing.
Yeah, and it's like sometimes having something cool on your face is really nice. So this is a good mask for, you know, if you got a sunburn or if you were out working outside in the heat, it's really nice to have something cold you can do. And it's super easy to make. And honestly, you could probably eat it too. Well, you can technically eat it.
Like the trade?
Yep. Thank you, Kyle, for being a good sport.
Goodbye, everyone.
So yeah, it's super easy. And so after about 15 to 20 minutes, I have it all over my hands now. After 15 to 20 minutes, I would just rinse your face off. And that would be the perfect time for you to then move into doing a moisturizer, you know, just, you know, kind of taking care of yourself. You can do a little facial massage. When I do face massages, I always tend to find that it helps. Can we see the cookie t-shirt? Kyle, would you like to show off your cookie t-shirt?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so this is actually was in the Girl Scout shop this year. I think everyone in our office got them in the Toledo region, but it is the Cookie Intelligence Agency shirt.
It's a must-have.
It's a must-have. It's super, super cute. It comes in a hoodie too, so there's a little plug for our Girl Scout shop. It's like one of my favorite shirts that we have. Thank you, Kyle.
Yep.
Showing off. Yeah, so it would be a perfect opportunity to do like a facial massage afterwards too. I recommend always kind of rubbing in this area right here where your sinuses are, and especially with how bad the allergy season is this year. I mean, I'm on 2 Benadryl constantly, so you know, it's really nice to kind of rub your face and feel good and take that time to relax. So I think that about covers it today, everyone. I hope you had fun joining us. Now my cat Salem has also joined today. It's a little bit of a crazier live today. But I hope you guys have a wonderful Mother's Day. You know, I'm thinking of all the great moms out there, especially my grandma and my mom. So I hope you guys are doing well. And if you are not currently a Girl Scout, of course, always join us at gswo.org/join. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.